good evening, everyone. My name is Rick Noda, and I am the founder of T3 Body and your host today for T3 Talks. We're in beautiful Rancho Santa Fe, California, and I have a live studio audience! What started in a parking lot, you guys, has evolved to beyond my belief, you guys. But before we get started here with today's episode, what I'd like to do for the 2019 McClain Grit Awards is start over here with some introductions. Go ahead for me, Mr. Armando. Tell them who you are.
Hi, my name's Armando. I am the Strong by Zumba instructor at T3 Body as well as wellness coordinator.
Yeah!
Try and keep a smile on my face as I make everyone sweating. Complain just a little bit as we all grown like, what was it, 400 years old, I think someone said once?
Yep. That's for sure. Who do you got next to you there, brother?
We got Mr. Trent.
My name is Trenton, and I'm going to be leading the weekly hikes and quarterly camping trips.
Yeah. He's Ranger Rick.
Yeah.
Ranger Trenton. Nice.
So
Yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun to be able to bond over that. Yeah, it'll be good.
What do you got? What do you got there, Texas boy?
I'm Nick. I'm a strength and conditioning coach, and I specialize in injury prevention and recovery. So you got any aches and pains, I can get you through Rick's workouts. Yeah. So if you have any questions, come to me.
Come to Nick, man. We got this guy over here. You guys know him from last year. Tell him who you are, baby.
I'm James. I was fortunate enough to be host last year. I'm here because I know Rick through cycling, first of all. But more importantly,
I'm always
Rick changed my wife's life, Janet, and so it's a great honor to be here and helping out.
Thanks, brother. And that thanks was because I'm always on his back wheel. He's always carrying me. I'm always getting dropped by him. Next.
My name's Adam, and I run Spirits Up. It's a stand-up paddle organization. We do monthly paddles, full moon paddles, and also private coaching, and also a strong emphasis on nutrition through growing your own food. If you have any land, grow your own food and living soils. And it's called the Red Earth Movement because we make red earth ovens out of red clay from right here.
Right in California.
Native clay here.
Nice. So you guys, one of the reasons why I put them up here in the podcast, you guys, is because part of my community, I'm not alone. So I have an advocate board. Have it be Armando, teamwork. Nick, Trent, and the teamwork. You know, one thing that I learned in the Marine Corps was having that teamwork and that camaraderie. So when I established T3 Body, it was that I lost that camaraderie. I missed that part. And when I'm sitting around in the room right here, again, that's what I see. Is I see a lot of individuals who have the kinship. And the best kinship is usually over food. So they talk about in medieval times that you ate, and we had food testers so that you wouldn't eat poison food. So today, thankfully, no one died. Hey, we love each other. All right, so I wanted to kind of like rewind it a little bit because back in the beginning of this year, Armando, how do we start?
That way we start every year with the hike up potato chip.
And yes, and what do we do today, Armando?
Well, I and Miss Gilroy.
I give her a hand. Yes.
This morning.
So today, again, just like we started on December 31st, we went up Potato Chip Mountain. 3,200 elevation. It is 3.2 miles up there. And on any given day, it could be hot, it could be cold, it could be rainy, and there's a certain amount of technical that's involved. Now, today I was under the weather, and I didn't feel great. So, again, one nice thing about your team is that, hey, Armando was able to go up there, and here's something that was important. On the way up, he in exchange with our athlete and said, hey, do you have the 7P? I said it. There it was. I told I wasn't going to say it, Esteban. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. And he goes, hey, Gail. He goes, Gail, do you have enough water? Gail said, no. So Armando was coming down from there, and he went ahead like just a good teammate or a good wellness coordinator. He handed her another bottle of water, and as she was talking to her friends right now, she says, and I'm going to take her exact words, that water bottle saved my life. And in a way, it did because it was extremely hot. And most people don't know that dehydration can kill you. Overhydration just, excuse me, it's corrected. It's the other way. Sorry. I'm dyslexic ass. There's me being typically dyslexic. So she able to drink water. But here's the nice part, you guys. You guys have seen one calendar year of what I really was trying to show everybody in my community. The journey is really culminated by going up that mountain. Today, Gail learned some things about herself that she will use gardening. She will do the same things when she starts to acquire something that may be difficult. She's going to key on those little efforts. James, and I love when I talk to James. James, tell me a little bit about cycling and that. When you and I talk about that, when you're pulling a group, tell that how that makes you feel.
Yeah, it's really true. Any of these difficult physical activities are just a metaphor of life. So whether it's climbing a mountain or when you're cycling, trying to keep up with others going faster than you, you dig deep. You just learn so much about yourself. Pushing through the pain, the feeling of accomplishment when you do it, the feeling that it would be easier to quit, the feeling that a dog might walk in on the podcast
at any moment.
Right? Yeah, no, it's really true. And you know what? When you have people around you that support you and are your friends, it makes a world of difference.
Now, Ed Veal is a professional cyclist that James and I both know. Now, Ed did something really incredible this weekend. Tell him a little bit about what he did, what he accomplished.
Yeah, one of my best friends, Ed, he set a world record. He's in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, give that guy a hand. I'm going to tell you. I don't know, I'm an old school guy. Guinness Book of World Records is a big deal.
He cycled, on a virtual cycling, so on a virtual trainer.
Swift.
The longest ride over the course of 24 hours, he rode 960 kilometers in 24 hours. Wow. Straight. No sleep, no stop. 24 hours straight, 960 kilometers is officially, Guinness was there. It was in Las Vegas at the Splunk conference, and he raised over $30,000 for local charities. And this guy is my best friend, and I'll tell you, you become a product of your associations, and the people that you surround yourself with are you. And so, like, that guy's my friend. I am going to get out of bed and get it done every day. If that guy can ride 950 kilometers in 24 hours.
And, right? That inspiration of Ed being on his bike for that period of time, Gail going up the mountain, Nina telling me a story about what she's done, beautiful things with her grandkids, David Moline when he's getting ready for something that is a big trip. Those are the reasons why I say, you guys, we don't work out, it's more training. You're training or transitioning what you learn in the classroom into your daily lives. And that is the huge, huge, huge thing. And that's grit. Now, I will tell you, everybody has grit. Now, last year or 2 years ago, y'all recorded things like, what does grit make? And who has grit? And stuff like that. And I'll be honest with you, we all admitted that grit is something that you kind of, not everybody knows, but you got to find it and you can acquire it. But like a guy like Ed, he not only does he have that grit, he has the hard work that goes along with it. So what you guys also here in the room have is that dedication to the formula and that hard work that goes, because grit doesn't just happen. It's trained and it's put through muscle memory. So you guys, that's why when I started the Grit Awards, all right, and Janet, who like you've heard this story before, and those out in YouTube land and in social media, when I started my company, it's a true story, and I started it out of the parking lot. Literally, I was a nurse in a primary care facility, and I was fat back then. A little bit, and I was still a little bit dealing with some opiate issues and some alcohol. I had quit, but I was in a constant pain of a 9 to an 8 on a daily basis. And I would walk around mad because I was in pain. So I started doing physical fitness in the parking lot. Now, Janet was, and allows me to talk about this HIPAA requirement, OSHA, get off my back, that she allows me to say that she was a patient. I said, hey, if you would like, I run a workout group. How about coming in and working out? Right around the same time, we had a cholesterol machine in my studio. I tested my wife's cholesterol. Oh, guess what? Cholesterol was bad, everything through the roof. So Janet started, and so did my wife. Now, I will tell you that Janet won the Grit Award because on one of the first days when it was raining and we were outside, guess where Janet was? Going up and down the stairs. And that was the first thing. I said, you know what? That was gritty. But I didn't have any money back then at all. So I went to the dollar store and bought chew toys. Dog chew toys. Arr, dog this. And there was a big one and a small one. So a few people got like, hey, appreciation, passion, and this. And Janet got the big old grit one. Because she showed grit. It was awards for about $20, you guys. I had $20 to my name in my account, and that's what I did. The second year, Janet won it again because she just lost all this weight. She kept going. There was only 2 people in the practice at the time, but it was I'm just joking. But no. But she won a warrior bracelet. and we gave that warrior bracelet. You know, then I'll tell you right after that, I mean, she could have won it probably the next year after, but Lisa Pete comes out. And I'm going to tell you, Lisa, she literally, her and Janet hit a camaraderie. She takes the 8 o'clock group together and they start really going, in a good way, a competitive beauty type of workout. Lisa, and that group, they start to do monumental things. So much that it really forced me in a good way to go back and continue to research new things. So as I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, they're done doing plyometrics. Now I gotta go get Tai Chi. Now I gotta go get yoga. And they just keep going, wham, wham, wham. So the third winner of the award was Lisa. Now, I gotta tell you, she set a really high standard for the next person to win that award. Now, I'm gonna tell you, the guy sitting right over here, Mondo! Yeah. You know what? I didn't think, you know what? I thought Janet and Lisa were going to win it again. Nina started to come in the picture. And I'm going to tell you, Barbara and Joanna and Gail and everybody, this year was one of the hardest years because Armando's year was hard, but he lost what? How much weight?
Up to now, about 140 pounds, actually.
140. All right? You guys, unbelievable. All right? You know, my producers lost, what did you lose? 100 to date. All right? There's a big difference. All right? But that's... But the nice part about that is how many classes can you do in a row?
Well, you 5:30, 6:30, 8, 9, sometimes 10. That is much as I used to, but so about 5.
So that's set up, and you guys, that way, that ability set the table to the next Grit Award winner. Now, that award winner, Alex, you guys know, I started coaching Alex when he was in 7th grade. He was a big kid, and those you guys, this is how I got Alex to work out. As his video game was loading, I go, okay, this is what we're going to do, dude. And then the game would go, and then he would go, okay, we'd play again. That's how I got Alex to start working out. Then he has a pool. I said, hey, dude, we're going to play a little of these video games, and then we're going to jump in that pool. He's like, really? And then we jumped in the pool 10 times. And then he's like, huh, can we do that again? I'm like, gotcha. So if you guys have seen him, Alex is going on, and we do have a short video that we'll show probably here in the middle or in the end here, that he's gone on to Oregon. He's a duck.
What's going on, guys? My name's Alex, otherwise known as the X-Man, and I was the winner of the 2018 Mike McClain Grit Awards. Now, I wanted to speak to you guys for a minute about what grit means to me. Now, grit to me is something that's very, very ingrained in my heart, my soul, my being. And it's the ability to just push your limits beyond what you think is humanly possible and achieve these grandiose goals or even regular goals, but to be able to overcome things by merely telling yourself, you know, 1 foot after the other, 1 foot after the other. Or as Coach Noda always says, round circles, round circles. Grit is also, you know, it can encompass a variety of things, like emotions, you know, physical activity, obviously, or even just academics in general. Because I'm here at my college, University of Oregon, here in Eugene, Oregon. Throw your O's, come on guys. Don't throw the sandwich. We don't like that deal. I'm here with the duck right behind me, and he would say hi, but this is a statue. The real duck fell down, and now there's a quack in his butt.
Now, the nice thing about that is he sits at a beautiful 155 pounds. He told me he's already been in college and has a small workout group established with his classmates, and it's been incredible because what he is showing everybody in college is the ability to work hard and play hard. And here's what he does is he's selfish because he wakes up again a little bit early, does all his workout and his training early so that he's never like sitting there when someone asks him to go to a social event, oh, dude, I didn't get my workout in. Because we transitioned to have him to be selfish, and that selfishness usually comes in the morning. So that's why most of you guys know, that's why I wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, because I'm the most selfish person in the world, because I'm sitting there just loving me all day at 4 o'clock in the morning. No, a little too much love. Now, Alex and a lot of these athletes have set a different precedence for the Grit Awards. And here's what I mean by that, all right? If you notice Nick and Trenton here, all right, I brought them on because they're a different side of what I represent. I love the fact that Trenton and Nick are a little bit more relaxed. Could I say that in a nice way? All right, what? Like calm down? Yeah, yes, less passionate. And that is nice because that's a skill set that really talks about this year's Grit Award winner. Now, this year's Grit Award winner is one that it's not won on weight loss. It was not won on what's that called? Killing it this. It was won on real unconditional hardcore grit. When your knee hurts and you just keep going, that's grit. When you show up to class, all right, and we modify, but we modify in a way where it's conducive to you, that's grit. When you walk into class and those young ladies say something and you give them a wisecrack back like, hey, bitches, like, boom! That's grit, and I love that. This next athlete also had a very milestone happen for her. She had a very big birthday. So when you add all of that together, all of that grit, all of that stuff, I would like for you everyone to give a nice warm welcome for the 2019 Grit Award winner. Miss Sally Coral. I'm going to propose to her, you guys.
That should work out.
Work on that lunge.
Yes. So you guys, one of the nice things about the laser ladies, and you could see that lady, you could see it right up there behind me, you guys. All right? Yeah, baby. Look at that. That smile that she had every single time, that one right there is a little bit different, but no, was, she had a bad knee. What was the milestone you did this year? You mind telling them?
My birthday?
Yes.
70.
Whoa! Look at that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you something right now, all right? That's a badass thing. Because I know everything out there in social network land, you're saying this lady's in her 40s, right? Like, oh, no
Oh my
problem.
gosh.
But I'm going to tell you something right now. This little Marine right here, I'm saluting Miss Sally. Everyone give her a big hand. Sally. Thank you so much. No. Get up there, you guys. That's what I'm talking about. Nice. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Good job. I told you. Nice. Now, Sally, as I'm sitting here, Romeo, where's the Juliet? They lie.
Yes, I will.
Yes, there it is. There you go. Sorry, Harry. No, just kidding. What? No. Please? I'm good. This year was different. It was definitely different. We've had some intimate conversations. We've had some you yelling at me. No, this stuff. Tell me a little bit about this year.
No, I won't be speaking. Well, this year, I did have several injuries, and they all happened back to back to back. I had a shoulder injury that probably was the worst. I had treatment on it by somebody for several months, did absolutely nothing. I have to give kudos to Matt Parker.
Yes, he couldn't be here today. He couldn't be here today. I apologize. He's actually doing continuous education.
I know. Yeah, he's in Orlando. But he fixed my shoulder in record time. Then I went into a lower back injury. He fixed that in record time. And then I had a sciatic problem, which that was pretty miserable too. That one took a bit, but he did fix it. But I also give kudos to Rick because, well, being a nurse, number one, he knows how to modify the exercise. I never stopped. I kept coming through everything, and through working, and Armando through Zumba, same thing, just modify things that I shouldn't do at the time. And it is a community. I mean, with Matt, working with Rick, working with Armando, you just keep going. You keep moving. Don't stop.
And give her a hand, you guys. That life, and like James said it, life has its challenges. if we can transition that in a good way through support of our ecosystem. Thankfully from Dr. Parker, that ecosystem's there. If you have a primary care doctor that's there, he's helping you in your ecosystem, and then all together with good food and hydration, your body responds to you like it should. And as I say, a fine-tuned machine. So you guys, big hand of applause. Thank you so much for Miss Sally. Nice, thank you so much. I'll help you up there. Thank you very much. Nice, no, thank you. Good job. I know.
She's got it.
She does her squats. Well, I'm definitely not Steve Harvey, because I like to give out the big award first. All right, because now I know I did. I actually said the right name. Now, we have the second award, which is the Passion Award. Now, in previous years, people have won the Passion Award, and just like I like to say, get smart. They missed it by that much. All right. Well, this person, and I felt kind of weird about this, Adam, too, because we are in her house. All right, and I don't want everybody to think that because we are in her house, but I tell you something. This year, Miss Alexia Brown, who has overcome adversity after adversity medically, all right? And Sally, thank you, because as a nurse, I've been her advocate. And I will tell you, she has helped me we've just had talks. Just talks. And that has made a better person out of me. So this year's 2019 Passion Award, Miss Alexia Brown, bring her up. Nice, have a seat right there. Propose to you also. Oh, there she goes again. There she is. So, you guys,
Thanks.
yes, so beautiful little star, Alexia.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
First off, thank you for having us here at your beautiful
yes,
home. Everybody's
absolutely.
enjoyed. Tell them a little bit about this year and the passion and what's going to go.
Oh yeah, it's been a really hard year for me medically. Just a lot of things going on, and still trying to figure out exactly what it is. But just going through a lot of pain and a lot of fatigue mainly. And I don't know if I would be able to get through it without all of you guys. I mean, it's been really amazing when I walk into that studio and I get a big hug from Armando and from Rick.
I'm working on that one.
It's a really good feeling. And just knowing that you guys are bugging me to say, come, you have to come today. Where are you? It actually makes a really big difference in my life. So I truly appreciate having everybody.
And you guys,
Thank you.
the thing that Alexia will never she just always, just like everybody, has a smile. And I have to ask the hard questions like, I know you're not having a great day. And she's like, oh, yeah. And then we'll kind of do some exercises, and then we'll start to talk a little bit. And that helps me, because you guys know that even for myself, I actually am trying to be more vulnerable to my family. I'm trying to learn how to cry a little bit more, because I finally in this year allowed myself to be more vulnerable. And Alexia has helped me with a lot of that vulnerability, because she offers a safe place for that. So everybody, thank you so much. Oh, good job. Oh, there you go. Thank you. All right. So, oh my God, this old man disease as I sit down. All right, so now all the viewership right now just drops on YouTube, because all of the awards are done. All right, but here's
the gorgeous women are gone.
I know, that's it. Like that, James asked me, like there's down. So what next? So what's happening for 2020? First off, I'll tell you, 2020 to me just sounds good. Is it just me? 2020 vision. It just sounds good. All right.
I don't have that. Sorry.
Nice. So what our mission has always been, and in our slogan, our motivation inspires you to be better. Now, my motivation for this year has been you guys medically feeling better, where your lab work is better, where you're physically feeling better, where your anxiety and your stress is down. Unfortunately, in a good way, you guys, that's kind of been handled. You guys have had certain ways of showing that. And as a coach, if we're not evolving, then what ends up happening is it gets stale and then you go away. So one nice thing that I like about the evolvement of the practice is that as the 501c starts to really focus on mental illness for veterans, we're really going to start to work on how we're going to go back out a little bit. Trenton, as he's looking to do some camping, we've started the T3 Urban. So what T3 Urban is a little bit of version of going in and out. Now, we were talking before the podcast, Nick and Trenton. Tell me what your version of what you think and what your expectations are of T3 Urban.
Well, with T3 Urban, I would say it's transitioning into everyday life in the city.
Yep.
And, urban landscapes and environments. So you're always prepared and always ready for anything that might be happening in those situations.
That's really an urban environment. Nick, what's your Texas big boy Longhorn gonna bring into it?
So I always say you gotta thrive or die. So you gotta adapt in life, and so taking that training we have kind of carries it over to the city life. It also carries over to like the functional woods, climbing, hacking at a tree, jumping over things. And so if you train in that fashion, that if you go to do that, you're less likely to have that injury. So I think it's always adapting to something.
It's adapting. So you guys have already used sandbags, right? Oh, T3 Urban. All right, we've started to use the maces.
By the way, I just gotta say, when he said sandbags, so many eyes rolled.
No, they did. They were like, oh yeah, their shoulders up too. All their shoulders up. Like, oh man, we've used the mace, correct? That's the heavy stick that has the ball on it. All right, that right there is indicative to using a stick. All right, but believe it or not, it's from indigenous tribes. We learned a lot of the stuff that we've learned, and the stuff that I'm using is hard work stuff. Cutting wood, lifting logs is what the urban is about. It's about going camping. Sheila said it. She would love to go camping. And here's a nice thing. My truck that you guys is known is set up right now. I pull up, tent goes on the back, open up the deck, boom, set up for 3 nights. So I've already started to be that mobile. So our mission is to mentor. At the same time, that mentoring happens just like Gail did today by going up that mountain and learning some of those lessons. So T3 Body's still the same. We're still doing the same things. That's this. But that's Monday through Friday, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. During the weekends and during the end of the week, we're going to start the T3 Urban. Now, the T3 Urban can be as tactical as you want it and as fun as you want it. Because I got Tony itching at me at the bud to show everybody close quarters combat, showing everyone how to use Tai Chi and this, and this. That's awesome. Because last time I checked, there's a lot of shootings going on, and a lot of people don't carry tourniquets around. Does everybody know why I carry a tourniquet around? Has nothing to do with me firing and shooting somebody. First responders during incidents have taken 5 to 8 minutes to get inside. So if James gets shot right here, guess what? I could save his life in a hostage situation. Everybody thinks it's about me shooting somebody. Like, oh, you carry a gun, you're gonna shoot. No, man, it's about the other people that's there. That's why I'm always trying to be that one that's thinking of others versus myself. So that's where T3 Urban has come, because I'm going to tell you guys, when I was in the Marines, everything that you see here that's happening now, I saw in 1992 in foreign countries. Let that set in for a second. Okay? So the reason I say that is because I don't want you guys to feel what I felt. So when you take a Tai Chi class, you get situational awareness. You're no longer scared. When you go camping and you can live off the land a little bit, you don't worry if the power goes out. See how that works? You see how it's all related to what we're trying to do in an urban environment. Now, is it for everybody? Probably not. But here's the nice part. It's something to try maybe once in a while, because guess what? Our first camping trip's at Moonlight. So it's really down the street from here, so everybody can do that. That's the way you get yourself cultivated to do stuff. Now, Adam here leads into a very good part of this, because he does sustainable gardens. He talks about grounding, and one in the podcast that we talked about this year, you talked about sustaining and the respect we have with the ocean. Now, tell everyone right now about the ovens that you do, the sustainable grows that you did, because that's what T3 Urban often offers too, is the ability to grow.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with right now in this time, like you're talking about native ways, is like life is the plants, the animals, the insects, the fishes, the mountain, the valley, the ocean. We're here to live with it. So if we learn about how the water flows and about how the wind blows and these different things, and that's all relevant, especially in paddleboarding and like level 3 surfing. You have to learn these things. It's not, that's part of true grit in that too.
Yes.
It's not just, just go out there clueless. There's something to learn there. And then also with like the food, gardening, things like that. There's a lot of grounding in that. There's a lot of teaching in that. We do everything by the moon. We have a calendar here, seasonal sun moontime calendar that dials you into like the cosmic, the moon. We have we call it the time trinity. We have our daily time. We have our monthly time, which is the moon. We have our yearly time, which is a season, and that helps us to know when to plant, when to harvest, when to store, when to gather seeds, and all of that. And yeah.
And do you remember the conversation we had 5 years ago? So 5 years ago, he goes, the human body is a seed. So talk about, remember the full moon to when the moon is close to the gravitational pull, how to train hard and train this? Because 5 years ago, he tells me this.
Yeah.
You guys follow this path.
So
Watch this.
The moon, there's a same way the way we plant. So if you we plant on a new moon. It's the dark night, and there was a scientist who did this. He would load. He calls it loading, and you eat like high proteins and do slow kind of heavy weight. So you're building. You're calling it loading. And that starts at the new moon. You do it all the way as the moon grows until it's full moon. He fasts one night and he switches his diet to more carbs and and he calls it ripping. So he's more reps and light. And then he does that for like cycles, and he did it for a full year. And the weight and the muscle mass that he put on like stuck. It created this cycle like of a baby growing.
And that part, he told me that 5 years ago. So I took the cycling science that I know from Joe Frio, saw that, and it when you talk about periodization, it just overlays perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing. So like someone will ask, well, why are we going hard again? Why are we going? Because it's the moon. I know where the moon is at. And I keep going. And then when it goes down, it's like, oh, so it's really that grounding that comes with the earth. I am really a dork. Am I? I'm such a dork. All right. Now, beyond that, he'll talk about women's menstrual cycles and we talked about that and how to sync. Well, that's for another podcast. But that's the amount of advocate board that I use here. Have it be using Nick's strength and conditioning. Adam and I have a conversation 4 or 5 years ago. It's integrated into the science that we accomplish here. And that's where when we do a T3 Urban, it's a nice way to kind of encompass everything that we're trying to do. Now, how does everybody in my community get involved? What do? Everybody has a skill set. Everybody can do something. And here's the thing that we all can do, sleep. Right? So if you go somewhere to go camping, I don't expect everyone to chop wood and do this. The best thing to ever do? Find a little tree and take a nap. Because the nice thing about camping in T3 Urban, it's a nice way to relax. Yeah. Somehow or another, potato chip became a race up the mountain. Okay, that's cool. I'm okay. But it can also be like Gail did, a hike up the mountain. Or like Hilda and Janet do sometimes, halfway up the mountain. But my personality has a tendency to just go, let's race the mountain every time. So T3 Urban is another way to say, hey, you guys, the journey is a little bit easier, and it could be going and doing some camping. Now, where am I and where are we at when it comes to the 501c, and I talk about my mission of raising awareness for mental illness. I will tell you right now, Alex lets me talk about it. Alex is I don't know if you know, suffered from depression. He's off. He got off all meds. I have 2 or 3 other clients that of mine who have come back and said, hey, Rick, the amount of change in my diet, the amount of like James says, the understanding to do something physical every day has allowed for me to get off my meds. Now, I'm a nurse that never plays a doctor whatsoever. That's the guidance of a physician. You deal the titration with your doctor and don't do that rogue, because then you'll see me get really mad. So they use their physician, and we work together as a patient advocate to do that. So next year, you're going to hear a lot more of that with me, because again, you guys, I hate to hear that when I was a kid and that person told me, put that kid on Ritalin. I know Rich Heyman is probably saying put that kid on Ritalin too, but no. But here's what I've noticed though, you guys, is this. I was written off very quickly. But one lady, Miss McCracken, said to do it. I'm the modern day Miss McCracken. I'm not going to take that for this. If your kid is whatever, or you're an adult that says you've gone to your ADD or ADHD, your bipolarness, or your PTSD, whatever it is, I don't have it figured out. My community has it figured out. Because with multiple of us, we can find that strength and endurance. So it ain't just me. It's everybody that's involved in here. And that's the emphasis this year of that mentorship and that mental illness. Because again, I really see the joy that's the joy people have when they're like, I'm off my meds. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, you're off your meds. Because you know what? That was a sense of control. All right. And that control didn't let you be the best version of you. Now, I'll tell you this. I have some embarrassing stories to talk about. All right. Now, James, Nick, and Trenton. That's the order we're going to go into. I want you guys, James, tell me a little embarrassing story about Janet coming home from a workout, all right, that we want to hear, all right? Then it's going to go Trent, then Nick, about some embarrassing stories for 2019. I have one for me that I may close with. Go ahead, Mr. James.
Okay, so I don't know if this is normal, but it is at my house. When Janet comes home from a workout, I will always say, how was your workout? And she'll always say, oh, it's so hard. And I'll say, what did you do? Which is cue for her to demonstrate in the kitchen every exercise. Yes. And I'm always sorry I asked because I know now I have to watch her redo the workout completely.
I never knew that. That's a double calorie burn. Good job.
Yeah, because it has to do everything all over again. Show me and of course.
You don't understand how hard.
Yes. So anyway, that is normal now, and I know it's coming. I humor her. I know she's getting a second workout in.
I like it.
So
thanks for that. That's a good one, man.
Yeah. So just to know, that's happening.
So Janet, I may shut it down 10 minutes a little bit early for you, just so you get that other. I go, hey Janet, you get that 10 minutes at home. Go ahead, Trent. You go.
Let's see. Embarrassing stories about Rick?
No, me or
Where to begin?
yes. Yeah, we got another 45 minutes on that one.
I just have to say, every time I go in to train, you never know what's coming. So sometimes I'm coming in like, oh, I'm going to be running today. This is going to be great. And then it's just a nice punch in the face.
Boom!
All I hear is
Every
Rick.
time. Yeah. And Rick. Oh, that's great. Yeah, this is a full-on Rick roll. Yeah,
Oh.
There you go. Yeah. This is it.
What is that?
But, keep coming back.
And I'll tell you, Trent will tell you that, he's been cleaning up. And I joke around, but you know what? You've made some outstanding gains, man. I say, in the Marine Corps, they say this. You enter the yellow footprints as a boy. You leave as a man. And I know that's not today, it's, politically super correct, because what is a man? A gentleman is someone that understands God, country, family. A gentleman is someone that understands that education is important. A gentleman is someone that will open a door for a lady. A gentleman is someone that will be hungry as hell and give his last food to whoever that person needs it. That's what Trenton is. And thank you, man, for being a gentleman and getting that. And I got to tell you, when I met him, he wasn't like that, all right? He was a snot-nosed 20. No, just kidding. He was actually great. He's still great. He just, again, inspired to get over it. All right, Texas boy, let's go there in that plaid and that flannel.
Yeah. Embarrassing moment. I found it hilarious. It was about Trenton, actually.
Nice.
So we were doing a TRX exercise. It was an abdominal fallout, and he didn't pace his feet out properly. You basically fall into a push-up position in the TRX with your wrists stacked under your shoulders, and he face planted.
Oh
the
my
ground.
God.
So that was pretty funny.
Oh my God.
I remember that. It was kind of slow-mo in my head.
And I'll tell you, we've had some injuries in the past, and I often say, at least my insurance covers that, all right? So, I would say, if you're going to fall, make sure you fall through the window and get hit by a car on the 101, because my insurance covers that. People go, what? Yeah, that thing. Now, Mondo, come on, baby. Tell me.
I got two.
All right.
Pretty cool. One, this was actually at the 8 o'clock class. I love this so much just because Rick always talks about be aware of your surroundings, look around you, make sure you know what's going on. Sometimes when there's a lot of stuff in the studio, you'll bump into, he's all, be aware, know what's around you. And so you all know he talks about the alley, go down the alley, don't cross when we have the combat rope, don't cross the combat rope. So at 8 o'clock, everyone's set up, Lisa's on the combat rope. So Rick stands up, he's walking over, and I don't know what possessed him to say this. As he's walking over the rope, he's all, and go! Lisa not paying attention, whack!
Take me down to my
He
knee.
walks out of the room. He's just like. I was like, Rick, be aware of your surroundings.
I started cold sweating. I was, oh!
I mean, but unfortunately,
That's a 40-pound combat rope at full throttle.
And Lisa just went for it. She didn't even pay attention that he
That's
was walking.
grit.
It wasn't a graze either, James. It wasn't a graze.
Well, grits.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
True grit.
That was a good one.
Yeah, of course he's not the only one that's not aware of his surroundings.
Yes, I did. It was great. It was like there. Shooting blanks. Pop, pop, pop.
This one actually was on a Saturday with Tony. He teaches us close quarter combat, and we work with that. That was actually with my brother Esteban. So we are learning how to flip people. You know, how to trip, how to properly make sure they go down, use their momentum against them. And Esteban was supposed to knock me down. So he puts his leg in, drops me, and I love my brother. He's a very gentle man. So he goes and he gently drops me. I was like, no, do it again. He does it again. Slightly harder. I was like, this is not what Tony's showing us. This is not what's going to happen if someone attacks you, and this is going on. How are you going to do it? Me, of course, I'm telling him to do it. And then I don't pay attention. So he's all, okay. What? My feet go off the ground. I land on my back. I'm seeing stars. Esteban's like, are you okay? I'm like,
Panic on my face. I'm like, oh no.
he was so, he's like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, I love you for doing that. I hate you and I'm going to get you back, but I'm so proud
I never heard that one.
you just did. That's exact. I was like, that's exactly
I never
what
heard
you're
that
supposed
story,
to do.
dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, that's exactly what you're supposed to do, but I'm going to get you back for that.
Oh, that's incredible. Because he was telling you to do it. He was like, don't do it. And you just wham. And
Yeah,
like,
I didn't think he was actually going to do it.
hey, that's good training.
Rick, something just came to mind. I completely forgot. I've been dying to say this for so long.
Yes.
So years ago, Janet started doing a class with Shuli dance.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
Do any of you guys do the dance?
They still
class?
do it. They do it on Monday
Do
still.
the dance class. So when Janet first met Shuli, she's like, "Well, this woman is incredible. Like, you should see how the shape she's in, and she can really dance." But the whole time she's talking, and when we're going down, getting low in a squat, she'll say, "Ooh, sit on it." And so
She's
that
like
was
this,
years
and
ago.
she's like this, sit on it.
Right. So to this day, every time Janet comes home from dance class, I always say, "So did you sit on it?" And that's just like common language. I don't even know what it means anymore. I just say like, "Did you sit on it?" Yes, you had a good dance class.
I tell you, James, that's a great one because that Shuli, I saw Shuli before. She couldn't make it here tonight, and she was talking about that class and literally how the ladies are killing it and stuff like that. And like,
She's
oh,
like
yeah, puppy.
blast.
See, oh my God, she's incredible. She is one of the reasons, you guys. She is the reason you guys have saw me and that.
You guys are all
going
to do that class thing.
Oh yeah, they're definitely doing it. And you guys, she's Peruvian or Panamanian, so her English not so good. She'll go, "Oh, sit on it, I can't be Annie," and she sounds like Cardi B sometimes. So it's like people are like, "Oh, this." Now I know, but I'll tell you, I saw Shuli and in Vista just the other day. And what she told me about the ladies, and I truly, and ladies, what she means is Janet, Mauda, and my wife that come in there, is that they have never given her 50%. That is incredible. They have given her 100% every time. And one of the coolest things ever is this. We were at Shuli's 80th. Her mom was turning 80, right, Janet? Her party that we went to her house. We were in 80 something like that. 80. Her mom, in 3-inch, right? 4-inch stiletto heels, cognac in her hand, is dancing in the lawn with all of us. Like this, showing it and going, "Ay, papi, mira que te no mueves." And she was grinding me a little bit too. That mom was like this, and my wife was like, "Get over here! Like, what are you doing?" And but it was incredible to see that with those guys, with Shuli and that. Now, my funny story, you guys have heard it before on the podcast, and it happened to me just recently, you guys. Now, we're going to do a PSA, and I talked to Nick about this, and this is something that really hits home with him. Me, it hits home with Armando. It hits home. We're going to eventually do a PSA on a serious topic that affects 3 out of every 4 people, you guys. Now, I'm really going to take this down. It's not mental illness. It's hemorrhoids. Okay? So this year, we're doing a PSA, public service announcement on monkey butt. All right? And what monkey butt does to you, and how you're sitting here, and that monkey butt, you're like sitting like that, because I was in an outdoor workout group on Sunday. And I'm sitting there with my warriors, all right? And I got monkey butt like you don't even know, all right? I'm sitting there like this, and I go, your next exercise are burpees. And we do a burpee. I go, boop, and I shard myself. Literally. So my face is zero affect. So as I sit here, I'm like, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Let's go mountain climb. Because now it's done. Damage is done. Doesn't matter. Just keep the film rolling. So as the film is rolling, it goes. I then send him on a hot lap. I run to the public bathroom, clean myself up. Just know, I was commando at that point. At that point right there, me and John Rambo had something in common because I had to leave a man behind. So I left that man behind. I come back, finish the rest of the workout. It gets better. So then we have to film a podcast. So I'm sitting there and I tell these guys, I said, hey, as we're filming this podcast, I'm going to lay a bomb on you. They're like, what? And they're like they said they can never, yeah, literally, pun intended. They can't even imagine what it is. Like, what can it be like this? And as I'm sitting there, go back in the YouTube. Watch me tell this story on the YouTube. Huh? WTF is what it's called. And you'll see their faces go just like that. But what's funny is, you guys, is that's what led me to the public service announcement. Because as I started to talk to more people about their hemorrhoids and all that crazy stuff that happened, more people suffer from it. The only difference is when I talk about grit, all right, that's a little bit gritty right there. I go lie. That's a grit to the full level. But I'll tell you this, that because I have clothes in my car, because I had, all that stuff, I could literally change clothes and mission as normal. All right, so I never expect, I never expect anyone to shard themselves. All right, but during a workout, but it is something you can live past. All right. Now, to close this off, Esteban's going to throw some pictures up here, and he's just going to throw some pictures of the practice and how everybody is and what we're doing and all that stuff.
Hello, 2019 Mike McClain Grit Awards. It's Matt Parker here. First and foremost, I just want to say how bummed I am I'm missing this weekend. I'm currently in Orlando in a hotel classroom taking copious amounts of notes that I'm planning to bring back here to Encinitas and hope that you guys will get some benefit from. But I just want to say how grateful I am for you guys and for the community here that Rick has built, and that Armando and Esteban and everyone that's been part of this team to be a part of such a wonderful event. I know how hard you guys have worked this year. I mean, I flow in and out, and I watch you guys pouring sweat day in and day out. You shall be very proud of yourselves for what you've accomplished this year. And I know 2020 is around the corner, and I know Rick's got his training plan, so I hope you guys are ready for 2020. I know I'm getting excited. And if you guys ever need advice, help, please feel free, reach out, shoot me a text, stop me in my office. Sometimes I can walk around with the blinders on, but please know I'm always available for you guys. So I just want to say again how grateful I am. Congratulations to the winners, and I hope I see you guys all again soon. Take care.
reasons and one of the missions for 2020 is mentorship. Has a lot to do with the Alexes, the Isaacs in the world that have really shown me the innocence of what academics and athleticism is. You know, Isaac, who's in the audience today with his mom, embraces what the warrior-like mentality is where the leadership by example starts with the mom and dad, and then Isaac and really goes after it. I like to, pump Isaac up a little bit, you guys, because one thing that I thought was great when he was training here and he was at La Costa Canyon, most teams have 3 face-off guys. Not La Costa Canyon. 1. And that one guy would take on 3 fresh guys every single time. Then what Alex talked about right there, round circles, that inspirational kid, Isaac Smith, said, you know what, I gotta do something crazy. And when he means by crazy is crazy along the lines of like Rick Noda crazy, that he's gonna take his bike and he's gonna ride it up the coast. And he went to what, Santa Barbara? San Luis Obispo on a fixed gear.
Yeah.
Fixed gear there, Steph. Fixed gear. 1 gear. Not shifting up and down. He basically took his own food. They camped outside, and I asked him, "Why do you do it?" He goes, "Because because I'm in college, and that's what you're supposed to do." And I said, "Goddamn right. That's exactly what you're supposed to do." And you know what he told me? He goes, "You know what, Rick? Round circles really works." Because when I was going up that mountain, that's all I could think about. And what James and I know is that when you're at that level and you're pinned, and there's nothing else in your mind, all you do is think about efficiency, and that efficiency is just round circles, and it gets you up to that goal. And that one circle gets you up to the top. So for 2020, you guys, that's why we're leading towards a mission of mentorship. Why we're going to experience a little bit more camping outdoors, because those lessons are learned outside by doing hard work. Now, hard work to me, and I'm going to close in this, is a little bit of understanding of where I'm coming from, all right? My dad was a Cuban immigrant that came to this country with 0 on his back, okay? Literally showed up. But my father told me something when I was young. He showed me a pen. He goes, "Rick, you see this pen? You make a lot of money with the pen. Now, you see that shovel over there? You can make great money with that shovel, but you're going to literally bust your back by it." So I looked at Dad going, "You know what, Dad? Fuck you. Like, I'm going to make my own thing, So what did I do? I picked up the shovel. Does anyone know what shovel I picked up? The Marine Corps. Thank you. I picked up a rifle. So not only did I pick up a shovel, I decided to pick up a rifle that had an expiration date on it. All right? So I could have literally said, like, I want to go the hard way. But here's the one thing I learned in the Marine Corps, all right, is that in the military, you got to be a thinker. And guess what came right back there? The pen. Because the Marines, for whatever reason, want intellectual people that can be operators, people that can adapt and overcome, always being ready. And that ADH mind of mine, perfect for it, all right? So then when I come back out of the military, guess what I do? I immerse myself in education. I start to work in the mortgage business, and I really start to make that transition into what I call not blue collar, not white collar, baby blue collar. All right? So I'm not a white collar guy. I'm not sitting in the office all day. It will drive me nuts to do that. But I will work hard for a little bit and then use my brain. So just know that my T3 Urban and everything we're going to do, it's kind of like a little bit like not 5-star camping, but like 3-star. So we're going to go somewhere. We're going to have some coffee. We're going to have an outhouse. We're going to have some stuff because, again, I'm not blue collar. I'm light blue collar on that. Now, you guys, today has been amazing for me. Those out in the YouTube land, those who have followed us, those in social network and Facebook, you guys aren't doing a good enough job. Hit the subscribe and do all that. Those in the audience today, thank you so much for your time. And I say this with all of my wellness coordinators and everyone that's here. The trust that you give me to come into your lives is one that I honor and respect tremendously. Because it is an intimacy that we share that I take to me in using this statement. In the Marine Corps, because of Mike and was me, we use this training to say, always remembered and never forgotten. So I tell you today, and hopefully as I sit in this room, I will never die. Because you will always remember some stupid, crazy shit thing that I might have said to you. And that's there. And you'll tell a funny Rick Noda story. Because today is the reincarnation. And you've allowed me to do that. Because you've allowed your trust to get into your lives. Have it be you out there west in Iowa, Denmark, Mexico City, Connecticut. Those are my remote athletes. Shout out to you guys. I would like to say thank you for everybody to attending the 2019 Mike McClain Grit Awards, where next year it's going to be the 2020 Grit Ball, where I'm going to see, and I'm going to maybe bring out my dress blues, maybe I'll bring those bad boys out. All right, it is going to be a ball, so you guys better, ladies and gentlemen, pick your tuxedos up, Harry, go get that thing out. All right, Sally, get your dress. All right, because I want to see some high-ass heels. I want to see some spaghetti straps, and I'm going to say, and everything better be so up to that thigh. We'll see there. Thank you so much, you guys.